President Trump is reviving a long-standing American urge to have the military fight Latin America's drug cartels. But history shows us that sending troops to take down traffickers usually ends badly. Hi, I'm Tim Padgett, WLRN's Americas editor, and this is Americas Decoded, my commentary on Latin America, the Caribbean, and their key relationship with the U.S. Let me know what you think. As President Donald Trump threatens to unleash the U.S. military on drug cartels in Mexico and Venezuela, I'm reminded of a tongue-lashing I received on Fox News a couple of decades ago. I was a correspondent covering Mexico's drug war. My fire-breathing host, Bill O'Reilly, seemed hell-bent on getting me to agree that the U.S. should invade Mexico to destroy its drug cartels. As he kept cutting me off, I remember trying to point out two things to Senor O'Reilly. First, that an invasion would obviously be an egregious violation of Mexico's national sovereignty, as Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum is warning Trump now, and just as importantly, that it wouldn't work. That was already being proven in those days by Mexico itself. Under President Felipe Calderón, Mexico is deploying thousands of troops to battle Los Narcos, but the military strategy was mostly a failure. Today, Mexican communities are still terrorized by cartel homicide, and U.S. communities are still terrorized by cartel fentanyl. And here's a key reason why. Soldiers make lousy drug cops. Militaries are trained to fight other militaries. Combating organized crime requires effective and honest investigative police work. But rather than cleaning up and tooling up his police forces, Calderón opted for the shock and awe of military intervention. As a damning report later found, this simply intensified the conflict and pushed crime groups into areas with less security presence. There's nothing to suggest a U.S. military adventure in Mexico would have any different result. In Venezuela, where Trump is reportedly aiming 3 U.S. warships and thousands of Marines, military intervention could even result in an Iraq-style quagmire. That's because Venezuela's military itself is the nation's leading drug cartel. So any militarized counter-narcotics operation there could lead to actual war with Venezuela and even a messy Yankee occupation. Trump thought his MAGA minions were mad about him bombing Iran and not releasing the Epstein files? Wait till they see the U.S. Army nation building in Maracaibo. Now, I don't really disagree with the administration labeling narcos as terrorist groups. But sending the Marines to do war with them is much more perilous than, say, sending the National Guard into Washington, D.C. In fact, in D.C., Trump risked making the same mistake that Calderón made in Mexico. Instead of the real solution, shoring up Washington's police and judicial system, he's opted for the macho spectacle. But in the end, dope dealers and carjackers aren't taken down by barracks warriors. They're reined in by well-trained, well-equipped beat cops and detectives, prosecutors, and judges. The same goes for fentanyl traffickers and cartel murderers. So don't wave shock and awe at Mexico, President Trump. Instead, help Mexico get serious about law and order.